I told you guys how, due to the way that God makes demons follow me to teach me almost everything you can think of, all the invisible things in this world, all the evil in this world, psychology of evil, why religion is corrupted, why no one wants to admit it, and who I am, who prophets were, etc., etc., etc. I'm also guided, to understand why, since I'm blessed, right, just like many people in this world, to have artistic abilities. One would be writing, two would be, I guess they're the same. I want to make it separate. Two would be poetry, but then three would be cooking. And exactly, you know what I mean? I want you to think about it. Don't just be like, well, maybe you're a woman and you just love cooking. No, there's hadiths where they always talk about Prophet Muhammad always cooking. So I'm actually starting to think almost all my qualities are similar to his, rather than just the other ones I've already concluded that, he's a writer. So they accused him of being illiterate. He loves poetry, and that's why Arabia is known for great poets and literature. Right after the Prophet went and helped them, leave paganism and help them change. You hear about many advancements because when prophets arrive, they obviously change the whole world. That means he's a prophet for the whole world. It means he went to Europe. He did everything. It doesn't mean he was stuck in Arabia. That's the corruption, okay? Just like you don't know what Elijah did right now. Tell me, for example, as Muslims, what did Prophet Elias do? You don't know, okay? So knowledge is erased when it's too far away from us. It doesn't mean they didn't do something. So, okay, listen to the other episodes where I'm exposing lies about this prophet and others and their greatness. It means they're sent to the whole world like Mahdi is. But Mahdi is also a prophet. So, no, they're not stuck in Arabia, okay? They travel just like Dhul Qarnayn and accomplish great things. But when it comes to like sort of the personal cool things about him, I've just thought about how, wait a minute, if he's so similar to me, I've already seen that with my own eyes, why demons set me up to be accused of a crime and they put me in jail, possessing evil humans who just stalk me. They don't know me, they're just stalking me. They have an agenda. And you're all gonna start to believe this stuff, You've insulted many people who tell you they're being gang stalked. You evil human beings who would always tell you, oh, you're crazy, that's not real. You're all gonna finally suffer the consequence of that. Because a lot of you are gonna start to see you're being stalked in many ways. Things don't make any sense, like these weird drones flying over people's homes that are usually government officials now. It's gonna spread to other people, okay? Because these people doing it, right? They don't know you. They're not trying to actually stalk you. They're possessed by demons who are just following you using their body. So it's not going to make sense anymore because the human beings who are actually, see, instead of you just saw someone and they're just a bad person, right? Okay, they might act bad around you. We agree. That's just how evil is. Okay, but stalking is not rational. It's not rational for 20 people to come to a building and sit there and watch somebody they've never seen their whole life. Because you first need to know they're even in that building in the first place, correct? Someone has to tell you to go and stalk them. These people don't know you, but they seem to know where you're going and come there and sit there. They don't know they're all being possessed to stalk that one person. Get it? So it's even more disturbing. They don't even know the other one is possessed like them to do the same evil. Okay, so these are spiritual things. That means prophets also saw gang stalking. That's how they could expose it also. So there's many ways demons follow people. Gang stalking is one of it, okay? So I'm also someone who saw what it is, and it happens to me too. But prophets and me go through demonic persecution, something else that just prophets go through. It's just that God also allows us to see gang stalking, which is also like persecution. I just don't want you to think we only go through gang stalking, because that can happen to regular people, okay? There's a persecution for prophets, and there's a persecution that regular people can experience, okay? I'm saying we see it all because we need to then expose it, because people will tell you you're crazy, because this is, right, spiritual, okay? So when God lets humans, right, stalk me randomly, and it got extreme and worse and very disturbing, and they're chasing me across the country. I realized that's not a random time they picked to increase the number they use to target me or whatever. It's when I wanted to publish books, and they succeeded, sadly. I was unable to publish that book, and they put me in jail. They accused me of being mentally ill for no reason. Get it? Just no reason. I got arrested because someone accused me of hitting them. Well, what does that have to do with being mentally ill? People hit each other every day, right? Am I a mentally ill person? No. Do I look like one? No. Did I behave like one? No. It's demonic. Get it? It doesn't make sense. Cops arrest people every day, but I've never seen them accuse a normal person of mental illness. So get it? It's demonic. They're targeting people to accuse them of opposite of their own qualities, like prophets. So you get me? Even though that's not the nature of the U.S., right? They don't actually accuse people of mental illness. They really are very good at knowing someone is actually the mentally ill you see in the streets, right? And the typical healthy American like me in this country, like that. But I'm just accused for no reason. It didn't make sense. Okay? Because that is the demonic persecution that is about being a prophet. Because they're accused of their opposite, okay? So when they did that, then they prevented me from publishing that book in 2021. So I don't want you to think I was just being targeted because, right, I'm so and so. Yeah, I know God put me in the program to learn things. I'm not a target for demons, okay? They scared of me. And the humans don't know nothing. It's just that. Why did they pick that time? You know what I mean? They picked the time that I wanted to publish. That means you're going to see I'm a great writer. That means you're going to see I'm a poet. And I didn't actually publish poetry back then. I developed that idea in the jail. I had nothing to do, so God just inspired me to write poetry. Okay, everyone? So why? Because in their mind, as demons, that's the character of Prophet Muhammad. That's a characteristic he had. He was a writer. So I'm being used by God to teach you, right? Many things about prophets, religion, God. Okay, but at some point, this specific prophet, obviously other prophets know how to write. They're all artistic and great people. You get me? But is God going to create every prophet to be the same in art? No, right? This one might be a poet. That one might be into some other cool thing like that. Aren't we distinct as a creation of God, right? Like that. So it's like the artistic abilities our Lord chose for Prophet Muhammad was writing poetry and cooking and other things, okay? But see, the demons don't like that because they have to create sexism. Sexism is saying cooking is for females, right? So there you go. It's just they don't like it. If a prophet of God, someone who's an example for the world, and they're supernatural, obviously, is literally a chef. That's what you can call it. You can call it a chef maybe. Uh, if they love the art of cooking, cooking is an art. Everybody, you're literally taking all these beautiful colors. You're taking God's creation of vegetables and fruits, and right, you're taking all this beautiful stuff and mixing it and something like that. But if you descended to this nasty, weak little thing that only a female can do because she's blah, 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 right? You're insulting God, actually, not just a gender. Two, food is what we all survive on. How dare you make such a valuable thing to our existence seem like it's weak for you to learn it as a man, right? Okay, so we don't have that obviously at some point, right? There's a lot of chefs. There's a lot of men who take great respect in being chefs. I know, and but that's usually the non-Muslims. The Muslims don't do that. They just go out every day selling women's clothes, making food in gigantic large markets in Arabia, right? You go to Morocco, you go to Turkey, they're all usually men are cooking food. See? But then they want to insult women. You know why? Because they've turned it into something great as long as they make money from it. And because she might usually cook for her family, they make it seem like then it's weak. See how demonic that is? Nasty. As if money makes it masculine. You know what I mean? When we all can all make money. She can also cook for her family or her friends or her community and be like, everybody pay me. I want to make some money. Who cares? Okay, so cooking is an art like writing and literature. Literature overall, whether it's poetry, or writing like nonfiction or fiction stories, etc. Okay. But because the devil wants to push this to females, right, and turn it into something sexist, if males do it, right, then okay, he cannot let you know your prophet loves cooking and that he's a writer. Because the writing aspect is to accuse them of being dumb. So he accused them of being illiterate. Okay, now you just think Muslims after him were great writers and poets. No, the Prophet inspired it. You have to inspire every great thing people learn after you. That's what it means to be a prophet. You're not just someone preaching the true religion. You're not just someone coming down to get demons out of people. You're not just coming to stop evil and wickedness. It's like you have 50 different jobs, okay? You're also here to inspire greatness in people, art, beauty, fashion, okay? There you go. So you will stop sexism because beauty and fashion belongs to women too, not just men. And Islam would say there's no such thing for women. You have to wear all black. Oh no, you're too pretty. We don't like it. Oh no, we can't handle makeup. Duh. That's not from our prophet then, see? So they cannot let you know these things that Islam is also corrupted in. It has nothing to do with morality, right? But it's about, I would say, art and beauty. They don't want you to know he had those qualities and he inspired it and taught it, because then you would then not believe the area of Islam exactly that tells you women cannot be pretty like that. You get me? Okay. So I just realized, right? They're so obsessed with preventing me from publishing my books that they went as far as to accuse me of being a criminal, put me in jail. And again, God makes them do it. You know what? It's a program God puts prophets into, and someone like me. But, you know, it's not demons terrorizing us. No, they're just made to do it so we learn things. But, right, everybody, I just thought about something else. Ever since 2019, I basically quit slash got fired from my job because they would come to every job I have and bully me. I told you, people who don't know you, who've never seen me my whole life, their customers and their coworkers, they just have an agenda to get me fired. Is that rational? No, you've never seen this person. Two, I'm stronger than you. I don't know what you're talking about. You're not dealing with a weak person. Three, I'm supernatural. So what the hell is even going on? You're not even like me. So it's demons possessing them, literally looking for me, so they don't need the human to know me. See how evil it is? Their power is too much. That's why possessing people is a horrible thing. You know what I mean? Because you can just do things that a human or a creation that you're possessing cannot do, because they need to know each other to do things. So they don't. That's then how persecution is. You don't need to know that person. Demons are just possessing animals and trees and humans, and they're just chasing people all this earth. You know, like that. It's not fair. So then that's how they can set someone up. You know, they're waiting for you every state you go to, like that. That's how gangsta can work so easily. The person can go to another state and everyone there is still possessed to bother them, and they've never seen this person their whole life. Is that rational? No. So you're all going to start to see a little bit of demonic activity in your own personal lives. That's how God will then help you also believe these people finally. Right? Because you're human beings. You don't understand unless you see. And then it's going to be even more easy for you to believe Mahdi and someone like me and Jesus and Muhammad and others who tell you we also had to deal with, right, that same problem of demons invisibly using God's creation, possessing them and terrorizing us. And they work so effortlessly together, right, because no one knows they're working together. And now you get set up for something you have no business being set up for, right? Moral people like me have no business going to a jail. Someone like me who's not possessed by demons, demons have no right to accuse me of being crazy. Because in religious terms, that means being possessed. Okay, but in another term, actually being mentally ill, I don't have psychological disorders. So how dare you accuse me? And that's actually why they stop prophets and me and accuse us of that versus something else, like a thief maybe. Because we're the only ones who are not possessed by demons. So in their mind, they have to accuse us of whatever the average human sadly has to deal with, okay? But then accusing you of being a criminal, illiterate, and all these other bad things, and then after prophets die, accusing them of being perverts and sexists, that's just to destroy human rights, right? It would obviously hurt your human rights. Because, right, it makes it seem as if evil is okay with God, okay? And as if being dumb is normal to God, as if he would make your prophet illiterate. Hell no. So yeah, Islam is right when it says Muhammad is your example. But they're your example because they're great at everything. That's what they should have said. And when they're like, but this part doesn't fit the example part, right? It's either immoral or it's not intellectual or it's not artistic enough. It's not an example for people, right? In advancement of sort of art and beauty and greatness, right? All that cool stuff. Then they should have concluded it's corruption. You get me? And I guarantee you they've done in human history. These are the evil Muslims. These are the hypocrites God warns everyone of. And okay, they're not going to admit it. and I know who they are. Yeah, I'm gonna kill a lot of them. So you just wait for that. God is gonna kill them. So, anyways, no, I'm not gonna take it into my own hands. Okay, I don't mean I'm gonna come shoot somebody. No, supernatural ways is how they're gonna be killed, and they're gonna expose themselves because I've been praying that God finally exposes Muslims. They start to come after each other and expose each other. So you're going to finally start to see the religious figures in Christianity, Judaism, Islam, right, who protect themselves. They act like they're all a thing. You're going to finally see they're possessed, okay? Because they like to act like they're not possessed, right, too. Not just possessed, but heavily possessed, like very evil, horrible level type of possession, because possession has levels. Um, Three, you're going to see they work for demons. They're actually agents of demons, and they know what they're doing. That they actually know what they're doing, and that, yes, 4 or 5, that they've actually had experience seeing with their own eyes that this scripture was corrupted, the Quran, the Bible, and they don't want to admit it to you. You know what I mean? That you guys are the ones who are confused, and whoever is evil is gonna be like, okay, but good people are gonna be like, oh, ew, and they just don't know what to do. That's the way you guys will divide. You're not gonna agree with the evil, you just don't know what to do about it. Good people, that's who you are, okay, but the evil one is gonna be like, yes, and they can actually. They're already evil, right? They already have a bad heart. They're going to be happy to hear something sexist, perverted, being called good. And they're going to try to go act on it. Well, you're going to go to hell, so goodbye. So, anyways, because demons have stolen my jobs, right, in 2019, going all the way back to my, right, first few years of ever getting a job, right, in college, etc. And when I was in high school, prevented me from getting jobs. Like, they just sabotaged it. It ruined my whole life. Obviously, I normally get jobs in high school, right? They ruined my education, gave me bad grades in school. Easy, they would actually possess my teachers and give me a B and a C when I deserve an A. So I had to deal with even my intellect being corrupted, And there you go. It was usually the classes that you would want to see someone is really smart, science and math, and I would say writing, you know, literally. My writing is no different than a 30, 40-year-old writer. And these are children, high school, middle schoolers. And my writing is like a 40-year-old intellectual, cool, ancient like writer. And you're going to give me a C and a B? You think I'm going to let those people get away with what they did? Um, you know why those teachers did that, everyone? Because they were actually confused as hell why this person is so intellectual and you're just a kid. It's because I'm supernatural. I write so intellectually. I already understand things kids don't understand. So even my writing was explaining, for example, some of those stories were books like um, the Great Gatsby, and other stories like that. That teachers like to ask you, what is the meaning of something, right? What is the metaphor? Like, those sort of inner deep meanings of a story. Okay, well, I was explaining the deep meaning of some event in that story, like a 50-year-old would or a 30-year-old would, who grew up and really studied the Gatsby, right? And these are just high schoolers. They're just going to tell you the basic meaning they can think of, right? So it's a way to hide the fact that when the teacher's reading my writing, they're thinking, what the hell? This is not a kid. This mind is too intellectual. It's too intelligent. I'm going to hide it and I'm going to give you a C. So you don't know how much pain I go through, okay? Even my grades can't defend me, So, and then, okay, when I go to jobs, I have the highest performing um, KPI, Usually I did call center and customer service. I'm always the best employee. Every customer wants to be on my line. They feel safe with me also. Oh, but you're gonna possess all these weird customers all of a sudden enter my register and constantly give me voids, intentionally they terrorize me. These evil team leads will lie about me and be like, we need to have a meeting. And I don't have, again, when the customers were harassing me, if a team lead called me, it was actually true, right? Because they harassed me that way. Okay, but then when I fixed it, right, because I saw such a thing as KPI, even, I'm sorry, such a thing as void was even effective in ruining your reputation. Those things should not hurt an employee because that's not your control. Such dumb systems. Okay, but then when I actually fixed it, everybody, and I have great performance now, they would possess the other team leads who are very narcissistic, very creepy, nasty, very perverted, to then try to see they're perverted. They just want to be around you for that reason. It's not directed at me, that's just their character. God just shows you what's wrong with these humans. So because they're perverted and creepy, they like to just call people and be like, well, you and I need to have a meeting today about such and such performance, right? So yes, they're lying about performance. Yes, they're lying about the reason they want to meet you, but that's not the main evil thing they're doing. That's the secondary one. The primary evil conduct they're doing is they're perverted and they want to be alone with people. And they're using, get it, their job to abuse their job. Like that. So I would always see the first reason they're calling me to meetings. Again, the door is still open. It's still a normal place. I just mean they just want to meet with me, you know? They perverted. Okay. So you see what I'm saying? It's like the most evil humans we deal with, their qualities, right? They're mentally ill, they're perverts, they're psycho. The others, we wouldn't call them evil, right? But we would just say it's not great, right? Like maybe you're illiterate, you're ignorant, like that. They accuse prophets and me of those things, okay? Immorality and not being great. Because, get it? That's what it means to lie about somebody. You have to say they don't have what they have, correct? If God is great, you have to say God was created by a chicken. You see, it's just a way to actually lie about who you are. You have to say the opposite. So they do it right from our birth. So it already makes them feel comfortable as demons. They just set you up over time. So when I got used to that constant sabotage, bullying, harassment, I told you, by humans who don't even know you. Every job you go to, every street, every school, this is all I deal with. So you all have to agree with me these are demons, correct? Because why would everyone treat you like that? And there you go. Where are the good ones? They would just always put me in the bad classes with the horrible teachers. Some would just get hired that moment. Okay, same for companies that I go work with. I get hired, but then they just always are sending me the creepy, nasty team leads, managers, and coworkers. Where are the nice employees? I swear by God's name, I will literally see them get fired. I would see them quit within the first few weeks I get that job. So yes, good people are here. They would have been my friends, but demons are pushing them out. Okay? So, anyways, when they do that, right? And I got so sick and tired of being accused of bad qualities, right? Oh, you harassed our customer. You did this to this person. Blah, blah. See, it's always not just about accusing me just to, right? Um, Flip my character, right? I'm righteous. But it's also the humans who actually harassed me, who were starting to then lie about me. Get it? It's not just random people accusing me. It's the ones who specifically harassed me, who would then create stories about me. Get it? So it's even more evil. You know what I mean? And you're just sitting there thinking, why everywhere I go am I being treated like this? Like, what is wrong with these people? Why do they act like they know me or something? Why they seem obsessed with me? So when these demons are following a prophet, they seem obsessive. It's not directed at us. It's just because, you know what I mean? The program makes them expose almost all types of evil characteristics, right? It's just okay. If you're seeing that character 24/7 versus when a human is evil, they relax, right? There are times they're not acting evil. But since demons are being made to follow you 24/7, they are evil all day, correct? They don't take a break. So that they seem even more evil than maybe they would appear. It's just obsessive. All I felt was that these humans are obsessed with me. And if you were to ask me, what were they feeling? I know it's not directed at you, but when they're possessed to just explode, what were they feeling as they sit there in that meeting, accuse you of all these things that you said or did that you never said and did? But you were actually the victim to those humans who did those things. It was envy. It was just jealousy. They were just jealous of me. They would constantly say to me, you're very intimidating. What the hell? Oh, you mean I'm righteous? You mean when you look at my face, you remember God, you remember great people of good character, and you filthy, nasty, typical, weak, nasty, narcissistic, psychotoxic, perverted, weird, sexist, lunatic ones walk around this country. When you enter a public place, as customers, I freak the hell out of you. But you don't know who's sitting here. If you do, you'd go kill yourself. Since you don't know who is sitting here, you're not going to go kill yourself. Something just takes over you and it just makes you so jealous, but at the same time so scared, as if you're feeling exposed, as if I even exposed your character, and your demon takes over and accuses me. That's what you mean, right? Yeah, I didn't say that, obviously. And I want you to know, I never get angry with humans, right? I never feel a desire to be dominant or anything towards them. If I've ever like yelled or anything, that's because I have to mimic. I have to mimic a normal human. I didn't want people to know I'm supernatural. So sometimes I would speak as if I'm angry if a cop harasses me, because that's just the only way to get others to see what's going on. But I don't personally feel that way towards the human race and demons, because I'm supernatural. That means I'm stronger than you. Get it? That means in a moral way, I'm dominant than you, including prophets are dominant than you. So if you were to be possessed to act evil around me, I don't have that desire to actually be dominant to you. Because you're weaker than me. You're like a child compared to me. So I always saw those humans like children. If I ever said anything, it was discipline. I was disciplining you. Okay? So I felt nothing. So then isn't that even more intimidating? I just sit there looking at you like some mature parent, like Adam and Eve type of parent, you know? So, okay. And they don't know anything. They're blind, they're possessed, they're crazy. They're the bad people in society, you know? Good people are possessed too, but they're not going to do evil. Okay? But again, they don't have consciousness of me. They're not personally judging me and seeing that I'm intimidating. No, that's dumb. That means you can actually judge who I am. No, when they accuse you of being intimidating, it's just how they accuse good people of being intimidating. Right? Good people also have some of that righteousness. So I told you, it's never directed at me. I'm just seeing how they terrorize good people, that intimidate them in that sense of they're bad people and they know you're going to take over maybe the management job within days because you're awesome, you know? And that's how narcissists push good people out of corporate jobs. You see? Their demons are basically telling them, hey, this person is awesome. You know, that human is not personally thinking that way. They're just minding their business, but their demons are terrified that good people will take over corporates and right make better laws and like that. It's the demons who are always scared of morality taking over. So anytime they see good people coming to a company, that's why you get pushed out. That's why you get terrorized. They seem to outnumber you because that's the only way in their mind to do evil in this world. Bully each other every day in that job. Get into people's personal space. You can't even have a cubicle job, right? They was a lean behind your back and get in your personal space. God exposed me to all that. I could never just enjoy my job. Someone's always trying to get in your personal space. You know what I mean? Just perverts everywhere. Whew, right? So that's what prophets also had to endure, like Prophet Muhammad. You know what I mean? It means God, when he was living and no one knew who he was just also roaming around seeing all this injustice in workplaces, in schools. You get me? Because God is also making him see the behavior done in front of him. I'm not going to say directed at him because exactly, you don't know us. You're not directing anything at us. That just in front of us, you act that way. So that's also how he learned evil from good. You know, that's how he learned more understanding of the psychology of evil. But when I was a child, I just knew if you were evil or good. I just know the psychology of evil. I know a pervert when I see one. I don't care if you're I don't care what you do. I know you're a pervert. So, right, yes, I know evil humans from good. And that means your prophets had that same knowledge. We're just gifted with that because we're supernatural. But two, pervert. I always somehow was sensitive to the pervert. Because get it, everybody, that's the highest evil, but they're always making it seem as if murder or something else is the highest evil. Two, that's what we always get accused of when we die. So, of course, we're going to be even more sensitive to you, that character pervert, you know? Because we just know you're the problem, you know? You're the one who enters religion and puts filth into it. Okay? But I thought about it, right? That, hey, wait a minute. I gave up working. God gave me a lot of money through unemployment and right COVID. You remember how they would give us all that stimulus check like that? I just had a lot of money. And instantly I thought to myself, we can finally start a business, something we've always wanted, but demons got in our way, you know? Okay, but then instantly, see, this is how you know they're demons. They started to possess my landlord. Even though that human has demons already. I don't want you to think people who are just possessed by demons is the same as people who are possessed to persecute somebody or stalk. You get me? That's not the same demon, okay? Humans are sinful, correct? They just have demons in them. Yeah. That's not the same as when I tell you people are possessed to bother me. These demons are specific. They actually targeting you. You get me? So it means either a new demon possessed her, right? Or that one was told, hey, now we're going to start using this person like that. And now my landlord, who was normal with me, right? They're still narcissistic and annoying, but who cares? They don't bother me. That's what I'm saying. You could be comfortable with people. They could be normal around you for years. But when, right, when someone's being targeted or bothered by demons, it just means people just become someone else. We have to agree spiritual things exist, therefore, right? Because that's not rational. You might be like, what if it's just that bad person targeting you? You're right. But then if you go somewhere else, right, and then people become someone else, all of us like that. People keep flipping, like someone hit them in the head, like that. You have to agree something's following you, correct? So that's how we also come to conclusions that we're followed by demons, or gang stalking is, right, some weird thing that makes like that. We also are like you. We don't believe the demons are like this either. We don't believe they have this power either. But God allows us to see strangers wherever we go following us, and we have no choice but to agree. It's something we cannot see, right? That seems to know us in that way. Not know us, it doesn't know us. They just put witchcraft on people and just demons follow you. And okay, now you're following me across the globe. So only God can help us, correct? We have to pray to Him and they leave us alone. But for me, since I'm similar to prophets, for me, it's not like I just pray like people who are being gangsta. That's their job. God will deliver them. But for me, God is actually setting the time. It's like a certain year that He wants to deliver me like that. And He's going to do supernatural events, which I've noticed is actually His goal. I think God will do supernatural events and then it's going to stop because maybe He wants to use the persecution to prove to the world who I am. So maybe then He's not going to stop demons following me because that's His way of maybe showing you I'm similar to your prophets. That's the only thing I can come up with as to why they're not getting the hell out of my life. Because I just turned 31 this October 2024, and I think is the perfect age to leave me alone. Otherwise, what? I'm going to be 40 soon. You know what the hell are you following me for? So that's what I'm saying. Okay, so August 1st, 2025, that's a day that is always in my mind. I believe that's a big, significant supernatural event that's about to come. So just put that in your calendar. Let's see what happens that day, okay? August 2025. I kind of know what it is. But I'm not going to tell you, right? Because I want you to learn things on your own. Okay, so, right, everyone. I just wanted to stop and working, right, for employers because that's the consequence. I just am terrorized and I can't get the job I ever wanted. It was always a job I didn't want. And that one, you even harassed me. It's even more annoying. They ruined my education. I studied healthcare, but I didn't even graduate. I became homeless right then. I had no choice but to give up school. You get me? Because they just come after my jobs. They're obsessed with my money. Oof, that means all prophets went through homelessness and poverty. That's why you have images of Jesus, right? You all see a devil coming to him in a human, and they tell you he tried to tempt Jesus. No one's gonna, no. Anything that goes against the righteousness of prophets and anything that goes against the greatness of prophets is fake, okay? No one's gonna tempt a prophet, but it just means that part is true. The part where you see this person with poorly looking clothes, right? Wearing these clothes, right? That's obviously poor, and he's just walking in the desert, and that sort of poverty, right? That part about him as Jesus is definitely true, right? Okay, so that's the only thing really that I want you to see about these stories, right? Or about these situations that, okay, it's true. And then the part after that, right? The part that goes against their greatness, the part that goes against their morality, then it's the extra, it's the corruption. Okay, so right? Okay, so then that poverty, right, is something that all prophets go through. It's something that, right, someone like me will also have to deal with because that's just how. I'm sorry, hold on. Demons are harassing me again. I think I should wait. Let's just wait. They're possessing people that come very close to me. You wait with me. I don't want to be by myself. It makes a difference, I swear. It's like you're here. All they want is for me to command them and get angry. And this is a very heavily mentally ill person. There's no need to get angry. Right? Or like someone supernatural like me. That's in the poverty, right, that we're always going through as we're young. And God blinds His creation. No one's going to favor you and be like, "Ooh, here's a job." And no one's gonna be scared in terms of how much you would normally fear the person if you knew who they were because you're blind. So that's then how God allows your character, right, if you're good or bad, to just manifest or be there. And that's then how we learn who's evil or good, like that. Other than the fact that we can just know also. But it's more like we get more knowledge through you behaving out your character. Okay. It's like if Angel Gabriel had to come here in a human body, like that. It's like, you get me? That's how blind you are from prophets and me. It's like we're coming in a form that you don't see, you don't understand. You're going to be whoever you are. If you're crazy around us then. Okay, so, right? And okay, I gave up wanting to work for employers. I just thought to myself, oh, I'm going to go start my business in 2019. And then instantly, all this money flows in. And I'm trying to use that money. See, I'm being harassed right now. They want to prevent me from recording, right? I wanted to use that money to, okay, then try to start my business. But then the sort of, I knew it. I knew some witchcraft was done to me, because the sort of artistic part of me as a human being, right? It's like I couldn't draw or something. Like, I know I'm good at it. See, this is the thing. I'm not saying I wanted to. No, I know. It's like I know I'm good at art. It's like I know I'm good at drawing. When I was young, many times I drew something. I don't understand how I did it. It just happened, and it's like boom, I forget. One time I made this book. I called it Fuzzy the Big Fat Cat. It was so funny. I read it for my high school classmates in like this sort of presentation in a literature class. It was one of the best classes. And that's actually one of the classes that the teacher acknowledged me, right, as a great writer and gave me an A. Especially when I would tell them stories about when I was young, where I lived and how I would go out, and that sort of independent introvert persona of me. Just that really innocent, quiet like personality I had as a kid. Just very quiet, very observant. That's how you would then observe, right, as that teacher reading or adult reading my story. You would think that's how I am, but very smart and very intelligent and very calm and very wise and very mature in the way that I was telling you. I used to go out and play by myself. You know what I mean? And the teacher, it's like he saw that. It's like he understood the sort of heart of the person, writing that story. Like he told us to write some sort of memory that we all loved, like that. And also, I'm very good at making people laugh. So anytime I remember, like that class, right, it was making my whole class laugh. It was funny. But then I remember many times in my jobs, especially through training, right, like the first few days where you go through training, it's usually those times that, right, the trainer asks questions, and it's not intentional. I just say something and everyone would burst into laughter. Instantly, I swear by God's name, I would see 2, 3 people. Their face becomes like this animal, like some sort of monster, like some evil, you know? No, that's not a person, okay? This human put heavy perfume into my environment. I actually specifically know they came out of jail. These ones I know came out of jail. Heavily mentally ill. Anyways, because you know what I mean, decent humans who are possessed won't really do these things for demons. They really use mentally ill people to persecute or gangster prophets and others. So you see why it's rational then. Who would follow someone around they don't know? They're mentally ill. Perfume is just ew. God. That's what they used to do in jail. Those mentally ill females would constantly spray perfume. The cops would constantly spray perfume because it's an indirect way of putting witchcraft, and getting away with it. God have mercy. We just have to ignore them. It's all right. I don't like to tell you what these demons do because, right, we don't want to give them attention. But sometimes I like to tell you because it is slowing down my recording. Okay. Sorry, the smell is too much. And it's a specific type of perfume that always mentally ill people wear. It's just always their little thing. There's even more sensitive. They sensitize me even more to it. It makes me sick. When I say mentally ill, I mean evil humans. Okay. Okay, so. Okay. Right? So when I had all that money from God, so yeah, right, I would see demons and take over some people's bodies, and they would make that face. And then it's like they try to mimic me. They want everyone to laugh because of something they said also, but no one laughs. They try to mimic my greatness. Like that. It's that sort of quality that demons have, you know? It's like they want to mimic your prophet before anyone even knows who they are. And you would agree mentally ill people have that quality. They like to mimic people who are normal because they're not normal. So one thing I've seen them do is they actually pretend to be a normal person. They pretend to be sophisticated, get a computer and everything. They're extremely sick, okay? No, 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 no. They're the ones who come out of jail and prison every day. They're crazy, okay? So that's just the evil in them, the envy in them, you know, not a desire to be healthy. So they're mocking God's creation. So evil humans also have that who are not mentally ill. You know what I mean? Therefore, exactly. I just saw that I saw them always trying to mimic me. Um, Again, they cannot mimic me, right? The supernatural person. I just mean things that a human could do. Just the act that I made people laugh, right? Things you can still mimic even if you don't know who I am. Things like that. Um, they just try to act sophisticated, smart, intelligent. It's just weird. All the normal humans in that training, right? Gigantic meeting room, they were normal, you know. So I don't want you to think if a demon possessed you, you're a good person. I don't want you to think they take over you or something. No, these are bad people. If you're a good person, you're always gonna be my brother or sister in humanity. Don't worry about that. So yeah, right? I had all this money and I just thought to God, I want to start a fashion business. I want to start clothing. But then boom, I don't know how to draw. I can't figure out how to draw it. I now understand it because now that was way in the past, right? They put a witchcraft on me that is trying to make you sort of forget your artistic abilities, just as they put witchcraft on me when I was taking anatomy, physiology, and microbiology. I would take the class, right? I have an A, and it just that's it. It doesn't ever go down. I just have an A, and then I would have witchcraft put on me, and it's like forgetfulness. You know what I mean? It's like forgetfulness. See, this is how you know it's not me. You can't be like you just maybe weren't good at it because when we're not good at something, we don't understand it, right? We're not smart at it. No, I understand it. I'm smart at it. I get it the first time the teacher teaches, and I would see humans sitting in front of me. Except now I know it's possession, right? And their face is like this. They're just staring you down like that narcissistic eye. It's a glare. And all they're saying is, I'm jealous. Get it? Okay, so that means those were demons putting witchcraft on me due to envy or jealousy. And that's then how I was getting cursed, using spiritual attacks to then write. Because you might be like, who is putting the witchcraft on you? Because demons still have to be around me in order to curse me to some degree. They still have to be around me. They need a body. Okay, so it was my classmates. It was my teacher. And I would sometimes see my teachers just sitting there watching me like a TV. When I say they're watching me, I know, you know, these humans need to go to hell. They're evil as hell. They just sit there and watch me like a TV. That was evil eye. Okay, that was like how they tortured Prophet Muhammad and Jesus and me and others. Again, before we become who we're supposed to be. So no, future prophets and past prophets, when they actually become a prophet and get their supernatural abilities and God actually tells you they're your prophet, no one can attack them spiritually or physically. Okay? No. It's when no one knows who they are. So God just teaches them the ability demons have. And no one can attack them physically, okay, before they are a prophet. But you can attack them spiritually like witchcraft because that's the demons. But God might put them in jail and cops might bother them. It's not directed at them. It's just how God says to them. He hates jails and prisons and mental hospitals as a God. Destroy it. It's like God telling you to destroy these things by taking you to those institutions. If everyone treated you really lovingly, maybe you think there's nothing wrong with them. So he makes them sort of be a little brutal, maybe, you know, but no one's directing it at you, correct? Because God makes them do it and they're blind. You can't direct something at someone unless you know them, correct? If you're blind, you don't even know who they are. If I don't know right now, a person passing me by is Angel Gabriel, and he just took that form, how am I attacking Gabriel? That's not Gabriel, correct? Okay, so no one ever bothered me. No one ever bothered your prophets. They don't know anything. God just lets them see their character. Lets us see their character. Okay, these situations are not directed as not real. No one actually bothered me in that jail. Everything they were made to do, right? Like accuse me of mental illness, do a little brutality and handcuff me. None of that was me. they were doing it to me, this person who's supernatural. God shows them someone else, that we're not. That's fake. You don't have to take it personally. I know it's hard to understand, but right, everybody. So demons put witchcraft on me all my life, even my hair, my skull, my beauty, my skin color. Yes, I'm Arab. That means I'm heavily light skinned, but they put witchcraft on me. So it's like I become beige, light skin, and it's still fine, right? But then many times they would try to pigment me from being that light beige to being more like brown. And there you go. Every day I would complain about that to that African family that adopted me. They wanted me to believe that you're actually African. They wanted to force that race on me. Can you believe that? How evil they are. They personally never told me I'm Arab. God did. How? These crazy people who are possessed, they're demons that are possessed to treat and behave in a way each other and in the environment that, that's why God uses a lot of Africans to, um, he lets demons use Africans like 70% of the persecution. You get me, program? It's so weird. And I didn't understand why it's always this race. Because God was saying they adopted me. He's saying they're not, right? I don't know how to explain. Okay? It's one of those things where you can't understand unless you are with me. You know what I mean? Just like 70 or 80% of the humans are perverts who are in the persecution, who are being used. You know what I mean? um, it's like my opposite is who is being always used to terrorize me. They rarely use Asians and Europeans. They use whatever I'm not to terrorize me. You see how rational that is? Because that's torture. You're torturing me, even if it's something good. I'm not like that, correct? If I'm not a 20-year-old, but I'm 30, and you keep accusing me of being 20, isn't that an insult? But is being a 20-year-old a bad thing? No, right? So it's like they just accuse me of what I'm not. Some of that is evil stuff, and some of that is I'm just not those things. So then it's torture, right? Okay. Oh my God. So right, I wanted to. That's basically the background as to why, if I'm gifted with fashion, which I hope you get the point already. If God has chosen me to help the world, at some point, Muslims would be the first ones, or in that sense, that I would help, right? You can already see why I'm gifted then with clothing, writing, poetry, cooking, because the clothing and the beauty would affect Muslim women, where their religion is corrupted to say beauty and clothing doesn't belong to you. See, so then that's another reason why God is so wise. Your prophets are given abilities and qualities and artistic things that society lacks that moment in civilization. They lack it. They're not dumb, right? Humans are smart. God bless them too. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with humans. It means corruption, some sort of way they tell you God is. He doesn't like this. He doesn't like that. Shut up. You're a woman. Like that. It's some sort of exactly demonic attack from these evil spirits on you, the human race. And then you don't use it anymore. You don't use that blessing because they tell you it's sinful. Okay. And okay, they call sinful things normal, right? So yeah, I don't think I should hide it from you. One of the businesses I would start is business in clothing or fashion. And then two, and again, it's new. I don't want you to think I'm going to design what other people design. To some degree, it will have the same idea, right? Because a shirt is still made the same way because the human torso looks the same, right? I just mean I'm not designing what Muslims have designed. This long, gigantic, wide dress they call abaya. What the hell? That's what we came to get rid of. Okay, so right, God has inspired me to do fashion, right? First for women, then men, obviously. He even inspired me to think of nails, right? A nail polish that isn't obviously gonna have bad chemicals or weird stuff, right? I love nail art, obviously, the nail beauty. We all need that. We don't need henna, right? I hate that thing. It's so weak and dries off. And then hair, he has inspired me to think of what we can do to help African females and males exactly help their hair grow and stop being too thick and bushy. Because exactly, I don't think God created them like that. I think He just created them to, look at my words, a basic level of thickness, right? A basic level of that sort of bush or thick level you're thinking of, right? Because you would agree that's still their race. You would agree that they're born that way, so it's still from God, yes. But we're all humans, correct? God would never take this race, give them a blessing and not give the other. There you go. We're literally trying to get rid of evil against God, right? So it's not rational to me that this race, their women, their hair doesn't grow, right? That there's no rationale. And the European and the Asian, their hair is long and beautiful. Okay, everybody, there's something wrong. So I believe it's demonic. I think they cursed and put witchcraft on Africans, on their hair and their skull, so it doesn't grow. And see, you can't be like, I don't understand what's going on. You're just really smart and came up with an idea. You would agree with me. God is using me to guide you to that great idea. Because look, I didn't plan what I was going to record in this episode. I just am recording just to tell you about food and cooking that my prophet was also good at. I don't know how I got into um, the African hair. You might, maybe it's because this African female was possessed, who was mentally ill, to walk by me. I was complaining about just now, right? Maybe that's why, you know. I told you, God just makes them appear in front of prophets and me, and we just learn things. That doesn't always mean that I'm conscious what God just taught me. It might just enter my psyche, and I might start talking about a certain group all of a sudden, like that. You get me? Because why was she African? Why was I seeing the type of one that has that sort of hair that's not great? You know, like that. I didn't pick on that. I didn't tell myself that. I didn't tell myself their description. It's like it just happens because, see, God is guiding me to just randomly get into another topic. You get me? That's how you know demons are not targeting me. What the heck? Why would something good come out of them following me? Get it? That's how you know I'm stronger than them, and God is making them bother me. So I learned something, you get me? So I think demons did something to African hair, and that's why it doesn't grow, and it's too thick, and it's very ugly, and it's very weird, and it's not okay. God gives beauty to every race. You know, your hair can just be a little thick, right? But it should be awesome and long and nice, and it should be gentle for you and grow for you. You should have nice skull, and you shouldn't suffer like you've suffered all this time. So there you go. Witchcraft. How did I connect that? I didn't connect it. But how can you humans connect it? Exactly. Didn't I just tell you demons do witchcraft on me and my hair and my skin color? And even though I'm Arab, I'm Asian, that means I'm supposed to be really light skinned. That means they have still been able to use spiritual attacks. So then you can't say spiritual attacks are useless. You can't be like they just do little things. No, they can change things that is like right, sort of like nature in that sense. They can really change people's body and appearance. Witchcraft is very strong, okay? So because I have had to deal with that, my hair being cursed, my skin being cursed, my height, even when I was a child, I was very tall. I am not the height that I was supposed to be. And I actually know what caused that, everyone. Evil eye was put on me by this evil African old lady that was staring at me from a weird house over there. And I still remembered, I was like 5 years old. I stood outside, you know? It's like an event you can't forget. Like children, sometimes if crime was done to them when they were 4 or 5, don't they remember it usually like a flashback? That's all I remember, like a flashback. And okay, they put an evil eye on me. I think I fainted, and instantly my hand, you know how you have 5 fingers. Visualize my left hand, right? The big thumb, okay, then the finger next to it. It got cut off, the sort of nail first portion of it. Can you believe that? How painful that is. It got cut off in that sort of metal door because it got stuck. Because that's a demon terrorizing me that moment, staring right at me with this evil eye. Evil eye means what, everybody? Jealousy. Jealousy. Okay, so this is what prophets also have to endure. It's like God picks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20. He picks a number of all the bad things demons do through bad people. And bad people are doing it too, then, right? To a level, right? It's not going to be everything goodness because we're strong. To a level. And he puts prophets through it. And that's called demonic persecution, like 31 years of their life. Because that's God's way of teaching us, right? The power they have as demons and the behavior evil humans do. Because exactly, unless you see it, you don't necessarily think that's what evil humans are, right? Maybe you just think they gossip. You don't know they stalk people they don't even know unless you see it like that. So there you go. If I had something done to me where even though my skin color should be very light skinned because I'm Asian, right? And I'm Arab, and it's not like Chinese, right? Arab or Arabs are very light skinned. And I have a sort of like a beige skin, and many times when the witchcraft was terrorizing me, It was almost brownish. You have to agree with me. Witchcraft can change appearance, correct? Okay, so then that we can fit and connect it to Africans, even though I believe they have different skin shades. I believe they have a little bit of um, brownish that we would say is a bit darker. Not the brown of Asians, but brown that's a bit darker. And then I believe they have like grayish sort of face color. And then I believe they really have like chocolate sort of color. And I believe they have like really dark. You get me? I believe they have their own shades also within that African color that's technically dark. It's still you can still go down and see a little bit of going down. It's not just dark, 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 dark. Okay, so they curse the race. Okay, they curse them. Two, they curse their skin color, they curse their hair, they curse, I think, even their beauty, you know? Exactly. It's like God's way of teaching you that. I don't think I technically know that if I grew up with my Arab parents. So God made Africans adopt me as a kid. So then I go to Africa and I see how they're suffering. See how rational that is? Would you agree that's a compassionate God? You know, again, demons were made to use it for evil, right? They abused us and bothered us as a kid. They're evil and they're possessed to be gang stalkers right now, and they just stalk me all over the country. They don't even know me. You know what I mean? They don't know why they're stalking me. They just like these ones, get it? They're just bad people. They don't know you. God just made them raise you. Um, but you get me? That's a compassionate God, because He's basically putting prophets in environments that they don't belong in, just so they see the people over there how much they're suffering. Because normally, right, you wouldn't experience it, you wouldn't see it, you don't grow up there. And God wants you to learn. So I know how Africans have suffered. I know the poverty and all the things they deal with. I know how the problem is within. It's their own families who practice witchcraft heavily. You might be like, what's the solution? Murder. Well, God is going to kill them at a high number. We need to decrease the human race. A lot of them need to be killed. So God is going to kill a lot of the people. Yes, because they're transgressors. Only others can repent and live. These ones, whether they repent or what, you're going to have to kill them. Okay, so prophets will kill them in the future. God will kill them also. Then the ones who are good, who are left, they're going to now have children, and you can start over again. You know how you have a restart button? We can finally restart. But we're not going to go to Africa and tell these wicked humans now, oh, we're just going to help you. No, you can't help them. They're transgressors at a high number. The race is dying because the mother is cursing her own daughter. How are you going to grow as a race or civilization? It's impossible. You know? They just have way too many of that evil human. And there you go. You see, everybody. That's why I see them being used by demons a lot. I don't remember Europeans and Asians terrorizing me all my life. All I see is Africans being possessed to stalk me and terrorize me. Because I just think they're more evil now in the human race. It's just that you don't see it because it's internal. They're just stalkers, you know. They're just quiet, right? And others are more obvious. Everyone knows them to be the violent ones, the thug ones. I know you get the point. But okay, evil human beings exist in the European, the Asian, I know. It's like their evil is more, it's more directed at others. You know, they don't necessarily target their own race. Okay, so God had to show me Africans a long time so He can show me, right, that they're not just bad people. Get it? God was showing me they're targeting each other, and that's why they're poor, and that's why, right, their health and their beauty is destroyed. I won't really see that unless I see you too long. You know, if demons use Europeans more than Africans, then I'm not going to know what God is teaching me about Africans. And you might be like, well, why does God need to do that? Because there are problems that Europeans and Asians have right now that God doesn't need to teach me. Because humans also know what their problem is. You and I know Americans are racist to Africans, like that. It's like God is teaching me the things that you would say no one knows. Okay? So I can learn it from you humans, what's wrong with Europeans and Asians. So it's like God doesn't have to teach me everything about you then. So He doesn't let me see you being possessed around me all day. You know? You have evil among you too, but I won't see you being used. You'll just not be, no, demons are just going to keep bringing Africans. Because the problems they have, right? Exactly, no one knows it. So I'm like the first person learning it. So there you go. I'm going to see them. But see, demons want to probably make it seem as if they're the person's race, and maybe that's why they're possessed to bother them. Ugh. No, it just means they have problems that the world doesn't understand right now, including themselves. They don't understand. So I have to see them being possessed a little more than others because that's God's way of teaching me what no one knows about them. Okay. Okay. But then, right, when that's over, again, I want you to know it's a season. When that stops, right, then God is going to finally start to show me maybe Asians now, like that. It's like I see them sometime. I don't want you to think they were the only ones I saw. Almost all my jobs, the ones who were accusing me, right? Usually the customers were African, but then the ones who were firing me and harassing me were European. So I still saw others, okay? I just mean now, like the past 2 years or 3 years. It's just them. Just African, 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 African. Because you know what I mean? You're just being taught a lot of things. Such as the fact that they adopted me, but they keep accusing me of being their race. And there you go. I don't want you to just think that God just wanted to tell me that. No, he's telling me that's a sin they commit against other people too. I'm seeing the Middle East being bombed every day, Arabs being adopted by Africans because Africans are usually Muslim. So God is saying to me, do you see how dangerous that is? They taking advantage of Muslim Arabs by lying to these kids and saying you're African like us. So you see, that affects me because that means I also was from Arabia. I mean, that means some war, some nonsense happened in my time, 1990 something, right? 1993 specifically. And then that means then since Africans are Muslim, they can adopt you, right? They can just help you, right? But okay, you see the evil? There's an evil then, right? There's an evil that then came out of that. So God is showing me that. Okay, it has nothing to do with me. This is happening to actual Arabs and Asians who, right, or don't have blue eyes, blonde hair, right? They're beige, they're brown. So the Africans want to act like then you're maybe their race, but maybe you're just a bit too light. No, God have mercy. We have three distinct races. Beige and brown is the Asian. Okay, Africans are not beige and brown. If that has happened, they breeded with someone who's European or Asian. So I already told you their color. They're like chocolate, dark brown, like that. They're not going to have actual brown and actual beige because that's the color God chose for Asians, whether they're Arabs or like the Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, Taiwanese, Philippines, okay? That's their color. So you see what's happening. Demons are accusing people who look like that of being African, as if Africans somehow have that group among them. No. You breed it with people if some of your kids look like that. Just stop lying. Somalis like to do that a lot. They hate being called African or black. So that's demonic, It's not normal to hate your color like that. It means they're cursing the race to hate their own color, okay? And that's then a way you would agree with me. Such evil humans like that could then commit a sin against Asians and accuse Asians of being their own children when they adopted them like me, because there's already that problem of not wanting to admit you're naturally as African dark-toned, okay? So you see, it's like God lets prophets and me go through situations. He makes us travel the earth even as kids. See human beings, the human race, in places and in ways, right? That you would say we learn and we understand. What's wrong with this human race? Or understand the sins and the evil thriving and happening within them. So since I'm Arab like Prophet Muhammad, if I was in Arabia where I belong, I would never know Africans have this problem and why they have this problem. I don't get to see it, right? You just know they have that problem, but that doesn't mean you understand why. So that's it. God put me in a mental hospital. He made evil humans like these crazy ones accuse me of mental illness so that then he would help me understand why people are mentally ill. They're possessed at a heavy level. Keyword heavy. Okay, so these Africans who do this to people and other evil human beings who do evil of any other kind, it just means they're heavily possessed also. Okay, so if you ever see psycho, and if you ever see evil, and if you ever see things that don't make sense, like homosexuals and LGBT, anything good, just simply going outside of logic and going outside of morality, normalcy, nature, including animals and pests, you see weird stuff in them, It means demons are possessing them, but at a high level. It's like the human died. They're just bad people. And it's easy to use their body to stalk people they don't even know. You guys are just not spiritually awake to see it. A lot of you are stalked also by demons. A lot of you, they're watching you through the typical customer, employee, coworker you have. But you don't see that. You know? So just as God put me in a mental hospital, even though I'm not mentally ill, he lets demons accuse me of it, so then I know what's wrong with mentally ill people. Is the same way he made Africans adopt me, made me grow up in Africa, so I know what's wrong with Africans. You know? Because I know that demon is attacking me right now in this environment. They're making it seem as if there has to be another reason God made me get raised by Africans. See, they want to mock me. They want to accuse me of their race or something. Even as I'm talking to you, I'm literally being psychologically attacked with evil thoughts. Every time you hear these gigantic, loud bangs and noises, that's demons manifesting. That's just their nature, that when they become evil. Not nature as in like God's created. Sorry, let's use another word. That's just the way they are when they become evil. They slam things and make noise and they act crazy when people speak the truth. Is that how they are? No. Just like a bad human minds their business when you speak the truth. They want you and I, the human race, to actually think that's their somehow the way they are. See, they put the word nature into my mouth. Sorry. They want us to think that's how they are or something, as if they really act so fake dominant like that. You know, slam things, act crazy. Maybe when a religious preacher is telling a demon to get out of a human body, they want you to think the way they act crazy, right? Make the human act violent. They actually want you to think that's how they are. No, that's not how they are. They're acting that way to make you think that's how they are. Just like when they possess humans to be gang stalkers, they want you to think exactly the way that human behaves, right? They act like a zombie, everyone who's never seen that. First, they act like zombies. Then they act like, see, then you agree those movies, right? Now makes sense. People who tell you movies have been made about zombies. There you go. Those people are coming up with that inspiration who make such ideas or aliens or movies because they've seen humans who are look or act dead or zombie-like. You know? So everything's connecting back to spiritual things that you would say doesn't fit our natural world. So demons want you and I to think when they slam something using a human they're possessing and an evil thought enters your mind. 'Cause how do you know what the thought is, right? What they're saying, I mean. A thought enters my mind as if they're saying, "Oh, I hate this. I've been discovered." That's literally what their thought is saying. Okay, but that's not how demons feel. Okay, they feel just like a bad human would feel. They shut the hell up and mind their business if you speak the truth. They're just normal. But see, they have to make you and I, who don't see them, who don't know them, they want us to believe that's somehow how they are or their nature or something. You get me? So that we give them power they don't have. So that we maybe, they want you to also be scared of them. You know what I mean? As if they're hitting things because they're mad or something. No. Evil is weak. If someone says something that's true, you, evil, are just going to shut up and mind your business. But because people don't see you, you're invisible, you like to make God's creation think you're some sort of entity that likes to go crazy when people speak the truth. No, sit down. So only someone like me can shut them up. Only prophets can shut them up because we're supernatural. So it makes sense why we have to deal with them from birth. Have to see every way they're controlling this world. You know, so I see them tormenting my life as a child. I see them tormenting my life as a teenager. I see them tormenting my life as a woman. I see them tormenting my life as a human. I see them tormenting my life as another race, right? And they're attacking me with this other race. I see them tormenting my life as a Muslim and they're attacking me with non-Muslims. I see them tormenting my life as a Muslim and they're attacking me with Muslims. I see them tormenting my life as a human and they're attacking me with animals and pests. I see them tormenting my life as a supernatural being, but no one sees that. And they're attacking me with humans and demons and you can't bother me. I see them tormenting my life by accusing me of the opposite of my qualities. Criminal, mentally ill, being possessed, blah, blah, blah. Right? Being a liar, whatever. Being not smart enough academically or whatever. It's like you're just always tormenting me with what has absolutely nothing to do with me. It's not my business. You know? Fake dominance, immorality. an opposite of my greatness. I would categorize it into those three things, how the demonic persecution was set up by God to torment prophets and me. They act fake dominant around us when we're the ones who are dominant over them and humans. We have greatness, but they act like we don't. We have high righteousness and morality, but they accuse us of the worst of immorality. See? It really is, right? And the opposite of, or identity. There you go. We have another one. I have another one. Identity attack. They attack your identity. A prophet might have been a woman. They might say it's a man. A prophet might have been an European. They might say they're African or Asian, vice versa. They just have to attack those four areas of the prophet's life. And someone like me who's living the same life as them. Because that's suffering. Do you agree? They're not the mastermind. Demons didn't come up with this. God did. It's a test He created. They're just the ones who are used to do it because they're the ones who are evil, obviously. Good people are not going to do it. Good spirits are not going to do it. You see, everybody. So don't connect it to devil or demons as if they set up the program or something. No, God set it up. So right now, these demons don't have permission to just leave this building. God will not let them leave. You know? There are times, just like I told you, a human is created when they're evil. They obviously have mind their business. They're not some God, right? When you put them in their place, they're not going to act more fake dominant. No, they're going to leave you alone. But the more you put demons in their place, the more they want you to think they'll just get worse. No, they don't. It just means they're stuck in a program. God is making them sit here and be there every day, just like this human that was possessed to walk by me. And I randomly was inspired, see, without knowing, without me consciously knowing. It went into my subconscious, and God put that into my subconscious to all of a sudden talk to you about Africans, their hair. When I just wanted to talk about the cooking aspect of Prophet Muhammad and me, see, they're not doing nothing. God is sending them to me, making them just simply walk by, and boom, I just get wisdom or inspiration to teach you something. Okay? Every time they cough, they're harassing me with evil thoughts. And part of the evil thought, they're saying what I'm saying is not true. So you see, that's a trial for me. I know what I'm telling you is true, but they're always going to be just made to just say, no, that's not true. No, that's not true. Okay? But if I get up right now and I look at that demon, or I command that demon, then they're going to be submissive and agree. Yeah, I was lying. I'm sorry. It's like that. Okay, so then why is God making them cough if that's not how they would normally be? Because He's just teaching you what evil is. He's just teaching you and I. That's just how evil is. They're liars. When you speak the truth, they're just going to act like they truly are offended or something. No, you're not. You agree. But you want people to give you power, to treat you like you're actually some tough, scary thing that gets mad and slams things. No, you don't. You're scared to death. So it's like a bully, the way they act like, right, if you're going to stand up, they talk back sometimes. But the moment you look at them right in the eye, oop, they go backwards like that. It's just what evil is. This doesn't belong to demonic spirits. It just belongs to evil. So humans could act this way. Another species that's evil could act this way. Many demons in the environment are very quiet. I swear by God's name, you sometimes start to question if they're evil or something because they're submissive to me. The submissiveness makes them appear like they're not evil or something. They're just so quiet, obedient when I speak or when I'm just around them. And that one is a demon too, and this one is a demon. But this human, their demon is so quiet and submissive, and that one, ooh, see, it's just God's way of them teaching us. Exactly, just what evil is. Some are just gonna behave and some are not. You know, when you tell bad people to stop bothering you, don't some say fine, okay, bye, and don't some act like they're gonna like that, talk back. It's just evil psychology. It doesn't belong to demon nature. They're just like humans, okay? They know how to behave like God created all of us to behave. See, earlier the word nature got into my words, right? That's how they attack your mind with witchcraft. Every time they were coughing and doing things, the word nature went into my words. I wanted to use that word, but in a different way, right? To explain to you that it's not their nature. And boom, they affect your words, and you might say accidentally, it's their nature. You get me? So that's why religious preachers have always known in history when they give a lecture about God or religion that they might make mistakes because of some demonic attack like that. I have to deal with the same thing because that's also God using me exactly to even tell them, I know what you're talking about. So it just means God puts us through many situations humans go through, and that's how we learn everything, right? And then we can help you as a human race and mankind overall. That's really what demonic persecution means. It's not directed at us. And then every time I say us, I don't mean I'm a prophet. I'm just saying, right? Me and them, God, this episode was not supposed to be so long. But anyways, just know, right? I wanted to start clothing business. I had all that money in 2019. Not food business, even though I'm good at it. And the food that I was always cooking, again, I've never learned it, okay, everyone? I've never learned it. And back then, I didn't have enough internet access because I didn't have a job and I didn't pay for my own mobile, plan or anything. So I didn't really have enough gigabytes. I didn't use YouTube a lot. I was just sort of, right, living in this weird, creepy family. They're poor, and even though they live in a great country, they're just weird, And okay, I'm being cursed to not get jobs anyway, right? So that's around the time I was in college, and that's when I first at least became sales associate, like that. Just an easy job, on the side. Instantly, my education died. It just got destroyed. And it died the more that family asked me questions, or those human beings who were in the college would approach me always and be like, hey, what classes are you taking this semester? So that's God's way of them teaching me what the Bible teaches you, right? Monitoring familiar spirits. It just means they come through people. They ask you a lot of questions, and bad things happen to whatever they ask you about. Because, there you go. They just cursed you. That's why you shouldn't tell people your plans. So you see, I'm just learning stuff. It's like I'm just, nothing's directed at us. It's very dangerous. And that's why then it's easy when people die, right? When prophets die, to then make it seem as if someone was actually acting fake dominant around them, or doing this, or poisoning. No, no one can do harmful things like poisoning you. And no, okay? It's just harassment like stuff. But things like brutality and God making demons drive vehicles at me, that's to show me gang stalking. Get it? It's like I have to see what people go through to help you to some degree, because I will believe you. But okay, there's that limit, because I'm actually me. The poison is no weird. That's weird. They can just curse your stomach with witchcraft. People get sick all the time, obviously. But our Prophet Muhammad being poisoned and people trying to kill him, that's nonsense. You can't kill a supernatural being. That's the accusation. Because exactly, you weren't there to hear them explain to you like me. So only someone like them can come back again in another lifetime, like that, and tell you what's going on. And even as I told you right now, right? Forget it. I won't burden you. So, right, I wanted to start businesses, okay. And whether I can draw the dresses or not doesn't matter, right? I still have a brain that can visualize things really greatly. And I was like, whatever, let's just do that. Instantly, I got attacked. I got attacked with big cops being called on me randomly. You get me? When I go to the airline, I knew I was gonna get harassed because I'm used to it, and something was telling me cops will be possessed. At that point, I didn't see them as demons. I just knew it was a character. Um, Okay, so I avoided airlines. I went on Amtrak. Boom, I got kicked out, pushed into the wrong state. Very easy. A pervert was possessed to be inappropriate around me. It's always a perverted human, because that's God's way of saying, you know what I mean? Prophets were accused of that. Um, and then they do the other evil, the accuser, a human who lies. So I always would see perverted behavior, then someone would lie about me. Perverted behavior, then someone would lie about me. It was always just those two things repeating. Because you agree that's really what corrupted religion. God, prophets, religion, scripture. What's in it, everybody? Perversion, sexism, right? Okay, then, but how did perversion and sexism get put into it? Through lying, through accusation. So you see, we really are dealing with specifically two evil: the perversion and then accusation, Um, so yeah. It's not hard for me to understand how Quran got corrupted, Bible got corrupted. It was people just like this who don't know you, who just are possessed to just write nonsense. Um, okay. So yeah, I got kicked out of Amtrak. They didn't give me back my money. See, because they also wanted to steal my money that God gave me. And then, okay, I just have to go to hotels. I got so traumatized. I go to hotels and then take Lyft and Uber. I don't ever just make my trip short and pay a few dollars, right? I had lost thousands of dollars to constantly taking Lyft, you know? And I'm trying to go to a state that's way too far from where I am. It's just so sad. You know, that person didn't understand what was going on. To me, right now, I'm thinking, what the hell, right? But that time, if you were me, you truly would have been traumatized. Because God doesn't tell us who we are. We're just followed by this weird creature. It's not a human. I know it's not a human. It's a creature. It seems to find me wherever I am. It looks at you like a monster. It has the same face. You know, the face is so creepy. And the humans look physically usually the same. Um, and he would intentionally pick a certain race at some point, right? And stop using them, and then another race like that. He would try to sensitize you so you start to, right, get scared if you see anyone of that race again. And he would just terrorize me by just acting inappropriate. And then when I stand up for myself, accuse me. That's it. You know? If I maybe just walked away and ignored them, they don't accuse me. It's when I stand up for myself. You know? It's disgusting. Every day I just wanted to kill those human beings. You don't know how much anger you're going to build up. But I don't obviously act on that. And then if you saw how I was, you'd be amazed. I had so much self control. You would never know I'm angry on the inside, and that's how I feel. My face was just so, um, it was just powerful. That's the only way I can tell you. It wasn't like a human face. So if normal humans were around me who are not blind by God, making you blind, you would know I'm supernatural because my body, my face is just too different. It's just too, yeah, it doesn't have that sort of innocent human like, it's just too sort of strong, you know, or powerful. But since you're all blind, you don't even see it. You don't even see that face I have. But sometimes the demons would see it to some degree. So I'd turn around, right? I would always use my eyes to intimidate them. My eyes are one of the things they're scared of. I would just use my eyes. Boom, they would run. I didn't do anything. I'm just walking in the hallway. I would see this perverted male. He looks at you like he was caught doing something. Oh my God. And then he just runs. See, that's like a little bit of consciousness that enters you that I'm supernatural. You would normally run. But okay, how is God gonna put me through all this, right? Teach me all this, make me suffer in the process. If you have consciousness, right? Okay, so he takes away your consciousness. But every now and then I see consciousness because maybe that was God's way of helping me feel respected, you know? Because I told you, they acting fake dominant around me. Even the average person in society, the way they act around me, they don't even act like that around you. They treat you at least like you're strong or something. But these humans act around me as if, right, as if I'm not who I am. Because that's just God's way of teaching me evil, right? It doesn't reflect me because I'm not someone you can be evil around. So it would obviously at some point irritate me, anger me. What the hell? I'm not weak. Why are you acting like that around me? You know what I mean? So in the past, there was consciousness that would at least respect that I'm strong. But now it's like people are like zombies. It's like they're dead, you know? That's because these ones are heavily mentally ill. That's why. But if I right now see someone who's not mentally ill, okay, I guarantee you, you're going to have some consciousness. You guys might be like, why is God doing that? You told us everything's always connected to Him teaching you something. He's teaching me that's how mentally ill humans are. They're dead. You know, in that sense, they really don't have much consciousness in that sense. Um, that yes, they know what they're doing, right? I just mean when they're being used in a way that's extreme, like gang stalking, you're really wasting your time. You know, confronting them and stuff. They're sick. Just let it go. Oof, their soul is gone. But let's say a narcissist maybe or a toxic human. Well, they're not extremely psycho, right? They're not very sick. Because like a little bit of consciousness might enter them every now and then. Okay, but they're also very, very mentally ill. Narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths, perverts, right? And others. So you get me? They're all human. They have consciousness, right? They're normal around others. Yes. If you're a strong person, they're gonna leave you alone. They're gonna have consciousness around you, right? They're gonna get scared. Yes. I just mean when you are seeing that they're acting as if they don't see you, one, they're pretending. So that's just the bully aspect. Put them in their place, they're gonna be human again. I just mean in situations where it's not in front of people, right? They're not pretending to be dead, but you realize, wait a minute, right? Maybe they're by themselves or something, and right, they just look dead. It's like there's no human in there. That's really true, because their soul really is gone. They're just heavily possessed. But okay, don't connect that to them, right? As if they're not human like you and I, right? As if they're not consciously choosing to be evil. No, they're evil. I just mean they're blind in a sense. That when I say they're gone, I mean like they're blind. They're just blind to some degree, because the possession is doing that. But that's only when a huge witchcraft is using them, everyone. Like witchcraft or curse. And you've been cursed or something. It blinds that human from you. Even though you're a strong person, they'd run away from. They might just pop up and say something evil. That's it. Okay, but the blinding doesn't mean they can beat you or attack you. No, no, no. That's about dominance. If you're a strong person, no one can cross that line. I just mean they're blind when it comes to acting harassing, right? Like bad behavior in the sense of they just say insults, they just act crazy. That's what I mean by they're blind. That blindness doesn't mean they actually think you're weak and think they can touch you. No, 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 no. You're a strong person, you're a strong person. Don't worry. But if they're blind to maybe then get in your personal space or touch you and bump into, okay, that's what I'm saying. You're right. That's the power of spiritual powers. Even though you can't be touched and people can't get in your personal space, you're not a weak person like me. At some point, they might have the power to do something that just low level because that's the sort of zombie aspect. But why are they so confident? Because they want you to go to jail. So if the government said whoever gets in your personal space or tries to touch you, beat the hell out of them because that's your human right, they would leave us alone. Okay, so that's then just demons' way of showing you why they feel so confident to touch people that are actually strong people, get in your personal space like that. That's demons' way of reminding you what the solution is. Stop arresting people for self-defense. So they're mocking us as a creation of God as demons. They're mocking us by saying, look, we don't have self-defense laws. You incarcerate people who have the right to beat up that weirdo, then the weirdo will feel comfortable to keep bumping into people, touching people, okay? It's just like a way of us seeing the consequence of that evil laws in these countries. Weirdos like this will feel comfortable to do these things, and they really want you to go to jail. But if there was no such thing, okay, they would run for the hills, as you would expect. Okay, but actually, like attacking people, look, that's about dominance, and no one can do that just because you're possessed. You're still a human. I just want you to know is that level that they can reach, because the goal is to make you hit them. Right? And there you go. You're still gonna say to God, but still, no one can touch me. I'm not a weak person. Why? That's the part, everybody. That is just not a fair battle between demons and humans. You know, God is allowing them to do things they should not be allowed to do around us. We're not a weak creation. So that's the part I would say is a trial. We're just gonna have to let it go. It's all right. I lost all my money through hotels and Lyft and all that nonsense, and I don't understand this stuff. And I would never think demons can stalk people and watch people. I just thought demons were just possessing people, right? Like those Muslims who tell you they possess. I didn't know a demon could actually follow you. Definitely the Bible would help me with that. Exactly what you would think. I instantly got into the Bible, which I believe everybody, I told you my life is similar to Prophet Muhammad. I believe he went through the same thing, right? And all prophets do. And I believe at some point they all learn this is spiritual in that sense, right? Um, by always finding a book that moment people maybe don't respect that has that. So whichever book was here in Prophet Muhammad's time, which there you go, is the Torah, right? That's the book he also had to use. Get it? Because you can't say he used the Quran. Come on. He's the one who was used to bring it down. Okay, a prophet was not dumb about religion, therefore. He has to learn religion. Because I just told you, demons will follow him like me. And you need a solution. It's not healthy for you. God is balanced. He just like he taught me to pray against familiar monitoring. It didn't make a difference. Okay, it didn't make a difference. But still, there you go. The difference it made was I understood what's going on. I didn't stop the persecution because there you go. That's the evidence God is making them, and they're not doing it. Because if they were doing it, the prayer would have helped me stop it. Okay, but it helped me mentally, right? I know these are invisible spirits possessing these evil humans. Just everywhere I go, they happen to be there. Which you would agree that's not rational. Why do they find someone every time? That's how you know it's very hard to do it unless they do something horrible. So they already did COVID, and COVID helped them. COVID fired a lot of good people and placed a lot of weird mentally ill people in almost every job, like hotels, Uber, Lyft. These weirdos are usually in these jobs. You agree? And usually in jobs like cops. There you go, everybody. That's your evidence. It's connected to them. COVID is connected to demons making that happen. And that's why people don't want you to get that vaccine. It's not good for you. And you've also seen other ways, right? People are suffering and dying from it, developing weird diseases. But okay, I believe that's why humans are even more possessed. You know what I mean? They're acting even more irrational and strange and zombie because of that vaccine. But okay. That doesn't mean they're innocent. It just means the demon used that to get their permission to act like that. They're always choosing what they do, so they go to hell. Logically, God is not going to throw you there. But okay, right? Without you knowing what you're doing. Sorry, without you being guilty, not without you knowing what you're doing. It's that evil cough they keep doing. I was ruining my words. And it's become a pattern. Around this time, like 12 to 1 p.m., they've developed this habit of coughing. That's how you know it's demonic. Because how can someone be in the building every day who cough? I told you it's not the same person who's sick. Who just happens to come here 1 p.m. How can new people, right, come to a building every day at 12 or 1 p.m. and cough endlessly for 2, 3 hours? And who the hell coughs that many hours? You see, they did this yesterday and they're doing it again today. But they weren't doing this all day. You see, so this is how I learned their demon. The behavior is not rational to a person. So they was trying to make me not go back to my original topics. They want me to just talk about them all day. Because that God also allows them to harass me when I record. Even though he wants me to tell you things, yes. But then he still allows them to bother the person so that we get off topic sometimes. But right, that's how I lost all my money. And then um every time I said to myself, I'm just gonna go and start my clothing business, I got attacked with them trying to put me in jail. It was always about jail, 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 jail. Nothing else. They don't use any other tactic. Because ever since 2019 till now, I cannot get a job, just so you know. So they don't have to attack me with that because they succeeded. It's like God made them put a curse on me, right? That would prevent me from ever getting hired again. So they don't have to then constantly fight with your job. You get me? Because that's like a settled thing. They got that. So now their next agenda is let's accuse them of the opposite of their morality. That was about greatness, right? Being a great employee and going up in corporate will show people you're a great leader in that sort of professional aspect, right? Artistic or intellectual like that. Okay, but this is about the morality, you know? So now the stage is about morality. So they're always just trying to accuse me of being a criminal or mentally ill. Exactly. They're not using typical generic humans I grew up with. They're using mentally ill people, okay? And they're using the narcissistic type of mentally ill that obviously have jobs and look normal to you, you know? So it's still psycho humans. You could understand why they would accuse you of something like that. Because humans usually don't accuse you of something that they're not, you know? Um, so, right. Because of that, they would just try to put me in jail. I would go to hotels, and now it's no longer okay. It's no longer just harassment. They will literally just be like, I'm just going to call the cops on you for no reason. That's how you know it's not human. Because they're not even trying to create a bad situation, right? Like some argument. They just literally would just want to call cops on you for no reason, everybody. You might be like, well, that's just the evil human. Move away. No problem. I go to another hotel. Same thing. There you go. You are going to get traumatized. That's weird, you know? Um, and there you go. You might be like, what's the big deal? Who would get traumatized? You're a strong adult. Call their manager. It's demonic, everybody. That means they have control over the whole country. If I look for their manager is not there. They set it up. Again, I don't want you to think demons are scary or powerful or this is difficult or no. Right? If you are calm and you're gonna record them or call their manager, you can handle it. I'm just saying when you don't know what it is, I don't know what's going on. I don't know their tactics, right? Then okay, you might get traumatized and be affected by that too much. But the first few times, right, when they did that, yeah, I wasn't traumatized. I wasn't affected because they're the same ones at my job who used to accuse me, want to steal my blessings, right? So that helped me. I wish I continue to see them like those ones that that I'm familiar with, right? And comfortable. And then see, they ruin my words. Then I slowly started to have, there you go, that's how you know it's witchcraft. They put witchcraft on me of this sort of fear, you know. I don't think it's me because humans, I told you, we're not evil to ourselves. But two, I'm supernatural and I'm not scared of demons or humans. So okay, it's not me who's uncomfortable. It's not me who's saying, let me just leave this hotel, go to another one. No, 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 no. I would call your manager. I don't even record people because to me that seems rude. I'd actually call your manager, explain the situation, and mind my business. Move on. Okay, here's what they did, everybody. That situation, they know I'm gonna win, right? They can't just set up someone that calm. Instantly, when I'm in my hotel, right, the next day, the third day, this is how you know they're evil. They plot. The next day, the third, the fourth, the fifth day, someone calls my hotel from that phone line. See, it's perversion, right? Because you have no right to be calling customers in that creepy way. You know what I mean? They don't ask you to come down to the office or something like that. They want to call you because they always wanted to avoid face-to-face interaction with me as demons. They hate it when I see their face possessing that human, but they'd love to talk to me on the phone like narcissists do. Because exactly, the humans they're possessing are weaker than the humans they harass. You agree evil humans are weaker than us. So if we look at their face, that's when they come to consciousness that I swear I'll beat the hell, kill you, you know, even though you may not do it literally. You're the one who's dominant. So that's why they love to get into a phone conversation with you as narcissists. You know, they love indirect. They love to email or maybe message people, text people, and that sends you so much anxiety in your body. And you're thinking, but wait a minute, this human doesn't make me feel that way. I'm not weak. I'm not someone who chooses to be weak. What? There you go. They're putting witchcraft on you. See, it's all about portraying themselves as the opposite of who they are. They're weak, but they want to portray themselves as strong. Okay, that's what evil is. So it's trying to be what it's not, and it's trying to accuse good of what it's not. Okay, so if I ever paused on the phone, there you go, same idea. Consciousness would enter the human. And I remember a manager, right, calling me many times on my phone, accusing me of harassing their staff. You know, when their staff got punished for what they did, because right, there you go, I did what I'm supposed to do. I didn't react to the situation. I handled it in a very cool way. I got an apology. They got punished, but then they retaliate against me. And that manager obviously is from another place. They were literally in another state. They're from corporate. Because exactly those who resolved it are not going to bother me, right? So they possess someone somewhere else and they're calling me. How dare you call a customer like that, right? As if this is personal. They act like that narcissist, you know, they act like they're your god or something. So they, even though I'm an adult, they were talking to you as if they can discipline you or something. Hey, you know, said this about her coworker, and this is the word they used. She was destroyed. You destroyed her, meaning her job, her career is destroyed. There you go. They're right, because I exposed the fact that she's very evil and narcissistic. You know, because they act like that. They act very manipulative and gaslighting. So when I write a report against them, I don't say things like, I got harassed by your staff. I don't talk like that. I talk like some psychology teacher. I break down the behavior. I teach you what it means. So there you go. You are destroyed. Now you're going to get fired because no one understands what the hell you were intending because they're very covert. And there you go. They retaliate. They call me, even though I'm dominant. They're going to act fake dominant around me. That's how you know I'm not being followed by demons, because it's fake. Why are you acting fake dominant 24/7? Like, God have mercy. But if I come down to that front desk and I look at you, you want to run? Okay, you're not the person bothering me then. So this is not directed at me. If you run when I look at you, so it's fake, okay? God makes me see these behaviors because he's just teaching me, okay, the psychology of evil, how narcissists do these things. So if I pause on the phone, it's like the human feels something and the demon feels something and they would freeze. And I could hear them shaking on the phone. So they're shaking even though they don't know who I am. Imagine if you knew who I was. You'd kill yourself. You shoot yourself in the head. So prophets were not killed by anybody. Okay? Because when you're blind, this is how scared you are. You're going to shake. You don't even know who I am. You're going to shake. And I've seen males they possess who acted perverted around me. When I said, come over here, and I'm trying to discipline him, I better not see you again. He shakes. He shakes and shakes and shakes. It's not real, okay? So yeah, that's how I lost all my money. Then I went to another state because they would just keep retaliating. They would hit my doors and act crazy in the hallway. They would find those other ways now. It's sort of direct was scaring the hell out of them. They go indirect and cause chaos. I don't know. Just it's a long story, and then I got accused of crime because I stopped going to hotels even though I had money. Can you believe that? That's how evil it was. I couldn't even feel safe anymore. And I stopped going. And there you go. It's not directed at me. Everything God puts me in is to teach me something indirect to me. It has nothing to do with me or prophets. That behavior, right, where humans keep lying, accusing you, harassing you, then lying, which is just a retaliation, right, was God teaching me that that's something that's going to happen in the world as the end of the world sign. Signs of end of the world, things that happen before the world ends. Accusation is going to come out as a rise. So it's like God puts prophets in me in those exact same situations where accusation is on the rise. Places you would get a business, right? As a workplace or as a customer, right? I'm sorry, as an employee at a workplace or the other place where you consume something that is materialistic, like a customer. So you see, it's never directed at me and profits. It's like God wants to show us the humans who do these things because He wants to tell us what's going to happen in the future as a problem because He's going to make you stop it. See how rational it is? You're going to be used to stop that evil. So He takes you to the places where humans do that and accuse people and retaliate. And they don't even know each other as staff, but they just sort of connect and they accuse one customer. Oh, they're like weird because God wants you to say it's spiritual, how they connected. Why are you going through it the next day at another hotel? Right? What are they seeing in you? What's going on? It just means we have too many demons in our world possessing people in a way that they really can just do what they want now. They feel confident. We need to change all laws. We need to change rules. We need to change everything. But God just puts me in a situation where I see that behavior. It's not directed at me and prophets. That's just how He teaches us what the hell's wrong with it, how they keep retaliating. They seem to get away with it at some point. You get tired maybe as a person. You don't even want to take legal action. And they're destroying our world then. That's why then every day people are giving up going to stores and shopping because someone's harassing you. Someone's rude to you. Someone's accusing you. Someone called cops on you. Right? You can't just enjoy your sort of consumerism. Okay? So it's like God makes us go to places that we learn things. It's never directed at us. But then He's saying, fix it. That's why you're seeing it. Because why burden the person to see it, right? But if you die, then demons will lie and act like they directed it at you or something. God have mercy. Because that's just what they're allowed to do. They accuse God also. Is God weak? No, right? If you can accuse God, why is that a big deal to accuse me? I'm a creation, right? It's not your power. It's just evil. And God is the one just creating this world in a way that He created evil to do that. And He gave it permission to affect people like us who are supernatural. There's nothing I can do about that. It's not about me. You know how the Bible teaches you to always say, that's not me or that's not directed at me, or it always teaches you to protect your identity from demons, right? Say to them, you don't know us, leave us alone, like that. That's what God taught me. You don't know me. You're not talking to me, you're not bothering me. And they get affected and they lose their power because it's not real. That demon doesn't actually know you. It's just how evil is. So if you agree with it mentally, Bible teaches you not to agree with things. If you agree that actually this is directed at you, it gives them more power, right? Which humans who don't study religion, you already do that too. You always tell yourself when a person bullies you or harasses you, right, psychologically or verbally, don't you all tell yourself psychologically we shouldn't agree with that like that? So you're doing the same thing, but not spiritually, but you're doing it psychologically. But when we do it spiritually, it's also psychological because it's still mental. We're all mentally disagreeing with a bad behavior, right? We're not saying we're weak when we see it. We're disagreeing. We're saying, I'm not weak, so obviously you're not directing that at me. You're just crazy. That is actually the way to destroy evil, everybody. Disagree with it. You disagree with it. Evil humans are the weak ones. Disagree with it. Don't walk this earth actually saying out loud, oh my God, someone tried to do this, or someone tried to kill me, or someone don't use those terminologies. It's like it just makes things curse you in some way. Again, when you're reporting crime, like I do sometimes, I might say something like, this person drove their vehicle like that. You just want to describe it, but don't be like me. Don't use me. So, right, that's how they prevented me from starting fashion as a business. And then when I was in, when I was accused of crime and put in jail by these same weirdos who follow me around like that, accusing me, always retaliating. And when they retaliate, they still accusing me. It's like they first harass me. I stand up for myself. Then what they do is they retaliate by accusing me. Okay, but then when I defend myself again, right, I call somebody, a third party, I report the employee, the customer, whatever. So I do something to report them to others. Then they retaliate again by accusing me. So it's just accusation seems to be the long term. Visualize a line, right? Just long term, oh, just line that they just use to keep me stuck from getting back to the way things were prior to the first initial harassment I saw. They don't accuse me first. That's not rational. They don't know you. They want to still make it seem as if they're somehow victims or something. They're not just gonna. But now everybody, because things are so obvious, I would see them just possess someone. They walk by me and they say something accusation like that. Then they actually started to do that because they know it's a waste of their time to keep. Because obviously it's too obvious now. But when you don't understand what's happening, they like to first harass you and stuff. So it's God again, right? Not demons. It's God who's not giving me a job. I don't think he wants to even give me a job because he knows I don't really belong in such a place. If this is who I am, right? Supernatural, and I just can't. Unless this fake demonic persecution stops, I can't enjoy having a job anyway. And there you go. Why inspire me, right? To be so artistic? Why? He created me with it. He just didn't let me know it. He doesn't tell me my artistic abilities, so I couldn't even draw back then. You know what I mean? But I know I'm good at it. It's like that. But now I can. See, now all of a sudden I'm good at drawing. What? You get me? Now all of a sudden I have all these cool ideas for cooking like that. And there you go. When I was young, as I was trying to explain earlier, I, right, would cook food. Again, I've never seen with my own eyes. See, when I wanted to talk to you about this earlier, they would harass me in the environment. I talk more about the humans and their psychology, correct? That's how demons attack my recordings. I want to tell you something that actually benefits you hearing about me, and they waste my energy and your energy by pushing me to talk about the people they possess. Which, why would someone as healthy as me waste my time talk about crazy people? Why do I need to tell you that? No, I don't intend that. I just want to tell you personal things about me that's actually interesting for you to listen to. So yeah, that's just the consequence of me being around crazy people all day. Please bear with that. So earlier I went into this topic, but I didn't finish it. So let's go back to it. Right when I was a teenager, I learned to cook Arabian type of food, but I've never learned it. I've never seen it with my own eyes. I've never seen a recipe. I just got inspired to have this gigantic, long, right, sort of bread that they make, right, that sort of bread that's square not square, sorry, circle, right? That sort of paratha, right? Or the one that you eat with gyro, like that. And then I would put food on top of that, meat and vegetables. And I would always have multiple side dishes, which is, right, a quality of Asians. Humans have that ability, right? You can cook multiple meals. I know, you know what I mean, right? I just mean like it was specifically like how Arabs cook food and how the other Asians cook food. So you know what I mean? It's weird. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's weird how we keep going off topic from what I'm trying to tell you. But there you go. That's how then God's like my identity would always come out. The fact that I'm Arab or Asian would always come out. That my cooking would be their food, even though I've never learned their side, you know? And then, sorry, I'm being attacked. When I tell you who I am, they attack me with witchcraft in the stomach. I need to pause. Because there you go. We're not going to go off topic again. So, right? Even though I'm good at cooking, and I knew it, and I would always cook orange chicken also, the other type of Asian foods. And I would then develop my own recipes. It's like I learned something, but then I come up with my own. And it was really nice. I'm not joking. I'm sure you human beings, if you were to ever be my customer, when I cook food, you would truly tell me I'm a great cook. Because it doesn't copy people, you know? I don't, like, for example, let's say someone is Nigerian, right? Or Ghana, or I can't remember the other African ethnicities, right? Or Kenyan or Eritrean, like that. You just learn what your people cook on a regular basis, right? I don't do that for what Arabs cook. I don't just learn like that. And obviously, I was adopted by Africans. They taught me their Somali food. Okay, fine. But it's like, I don't cook what you taught me. I don't cook what I saw. I just see it, but then I come up with my own, you know? So then that's why you wouldn't be like, oh, I just went to a Arabic restaurant by Marian. You're not going to say that. You're going to be like, I went to a restaurant. Yes, the person is Arab, but it's their own cool. Like that, you're going to still tell people it's my own. You know, the background is, yes, Asian, right? But you know I came up with it, right? And please, I always want to remind you, if you want something from God, ask Him. You want to be gifted at something. You love an artistic ability, but you're not good at it. It just means you're good at something else, you know? But ask God, right, to bless you. You know, we're not telling evil humans to do that. We want you to go to hell and die. No, good people, you know, I love you, obviously. If there's something you like and you feel like others are good at it, but you're not. There you go. That's what having a relationship with God is about. You get to ask for blessings, you know, not just for help and protection, right? So don't listen to me and be like, oh, I wish that. Stop it. You know, ask your Lord too, okay? Don't do it. Um, and envy and jealousy obviously belongs to evil humans. Good people don't get jealous, but they admire something, you know, it's out of love. They admire greatness and beauty. So, right, I wasn't therefore able to say to myself, oh, I'm good at cooking. Let me make a restaurant. Never. You know, I love clothing. I love a business that I don't have to get my hands dirty. I want something clean, you know, like you just sell clothes, but you don't have to sit there manufacturing it, right? People do that for you, or machines do it. And I get to be that rich, cool CEO. That's literally how I visualize myself as a young person. I just wanted to be rich and just travel the world and just have fun and be beautiful, right? Put makeup on, have beautiful clothes, right? I didn't love makeup in that way, okay? Just the basic, you know? Just like my photos, right? I just have lipstick and stuff like that. Okay, I don't put makeup on my eyes or because, yeah, I don't want to hide what I really look like, right? Okay, but that's it. I just wanted that basic idea of having that sort of wealth, right? But I don't want to cook. That just seems like I'm at home or something. Um, or I'm an employee at a restaurant. I don't want that. That's too tiring. Okay, so then, um, sorry, they're harassing me again. Let's just pause. See, the reason why you usually see me getting harassed more when I talk about my identity versus when I talk about maybe something else, right, like morality or psychology of evil, is because for me right now, my identity's a sort of big thing that the demonic persecution stole from me, you know? So when I'm sort of discovering it and telling you puzzles in my past and connecting it, you know, it's like God just lets you see their psychology. Evil likes to bother people, right? I just manifest. But it's nothing, you know, it's really nothing. It's not a big deal. It's just how I want you to know if I'm quiet and I don't record an episode, this is still how they behave. It doesn't matter what I do, everybody. They still act the exact same way. So it's a program. They're like a object or something stuck in a box or, you know? I don't want you to think demons are actually insulting me and personally saying things to bother me when I say something to you. Because exactly, this is how they behave 24/7 for the past few years. Okay, so it's not directed at a specific thing I'm doing that moment, like recording an episode. I just like to teach you the psychology of evil, you know? Okay, so I just wanted to defend myself. I don't want you to actually think they listen to me, right, in the environment and then do something to mock what I said. No, no, no. They do that 24/7. They're just always mocking. Okay. So I said I wasn't going to talk about psychology of evil, right? Get redirected. I didn't get redirected. I just had to correct that part earlier because that would be a misunderstanding. Okay, so Yeah, I don't think God is gonna make me get a job. Um, but one thing God showed me was something, like a blessing. He just shows it to me, like people doing it, people having that blessing in a way that He's it's God guiding you. That maybe that's your next blessing, like that. I don't mean I just see it. Those humans is like they're demonstrating. It's like they're saying yes, you can do it this way, you can do it that way, like a business or something. It's like I see it. It's a unique inspiration from God Himself. It's not I just saw you, too, because I rarely see it. So yeah, I believe God will make a way for me, right, to start a business, which is what I deserve. I don't deserve to go and suffer at a job again. Um, I was supposed to have a business all these years. So there you go. I used to hide from you that I'm good at right fashion, but now I'm telling you. Just want you to know what to anticipate. You're not gonna necessarily know. I could make a cooking business, right, like a restaurant, or I could make clothing. And I'm inspiring you to do the same in this big, difficult empire. Not goodness, my words got ruined. In this big, chaotic um, economy, you also might just use that 200 or that 3,000 you have or that 1,000 to really just go get your licensing and just start a little trailer or some business. Just go survive for now. Because, yeah, I do believe infrastructure will be destroyed, usually by spiritual attacks. Humans are still doing it. Just like these crazy ones who are possessed. A lot of people are just possessed to fly drones over people's homes and just monitor them. See, that's what I mean. They're not human. They don't need to know you. Their demons are monitoring you. So the same way, you're gonna just see other crime, right? Other bad things that's like that. That could actually maybe hover over gigantic, beautiful buildings. Anything, just anything you would say sort of above us. Whether it's war, something like that. They're just being used by their demons, and they might destroy our infrastructure at some point. Because the reason I'm saying that is not to curse us. It's just that everyone knows when right, that last prophet Mahdi arrives, everyone knows that infrastructure is sort of destroyed, right? All these beautiful skyscrapers, all these buildings we have, all this sort of wealth. We all know it's sort of gone. Okay, but look, everybody, Mahdi's almost here, maybe next year. And all these beautiful buildings and the corporations and jobs are still here. People still have jobs. You know? It's only someone like me who's not working. Due to weird situations like this. And maybe others who are being gang stalked. I'm being harassed again. Hold on. Okay. They just keep bringing humans around me who are crazy. I just have to pause. So, right, I believe all these infrastructures, whichever type you're thinking of, right, there's many things that make an infrastructure, just the way society looks. I think that's then how it get destroyed. Not just war, right? Because why would war affect everything? Everyone's not going to be involved in war like the U.S. right now. Demons will just find another way to steal the sort of materialistic blessings from you as human beings. Um, you might be like, why does God allow them in that sense? Because to some degree, you don't need it. Your prophet is going to build a new one. Like that Bible story about Solomon had a ring. Just look at it, man. There's AI videos that teach you that, what it looked like, according to human imagination. Only God knows what it was. But it just miraculously will build the empire by itself. Can you believe that ring? Like that, everybody. So if God's going to build you empires, right? You know what he's going to do also, right? He's going to give every race their own greatness, their own uniqueness. So no one has the same thing and no one is jealous and No one pushes down anybody anymore, right? Like Africans. So you agree they're not coming up ever? Like they're not building themselves up? And exactly, the world is almost ending. Mahdi's almost here, that last prophet. So then that doesn't make sense. When are Africans going to build their countries? That probably means they never will. That probably means Mahdi will, you know? So everyone's just going to lose what they have. So Africans won't even be like, they're the only ones who are suffering. No, these other groups, right, that are okay, are going to lose theirs. Asia, all these beautiful things they have, is going to be destroyed. Europe, and then the US that sort of got cut off from Europe, everything's going to be destroyed. So then Africa is not going to be the only one who looks like that anymore. You know what I mean? You're all going to look similar. You might all have to live in cars and trailers and be homeless. And all of you might have to be in the street like that, you know? Again, you'll be fine. You'll have something. You're human, right? And finally, you won't be bothered by governments anymore because, right, they can't bother you. Everything's destroyed. They can't be like, you need to rent a home, you know? So you actually will feel comfortable to just be in your car, be able to just build a little house for yourself because humans are good at building their own home. It's just evil governments that demonic spirits set up, right? Evil humans they're possessing that's taking away your basic Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Survival, which is housing and aka shelter and food, and then sort of like income, how you make money. The other stuff is your choice, you know? It's your choice if you want to be married or bisexual. It's your choice if you want to have friends. But everyone should have shelter, food, and the right to make their own money, you know? And there you go. That's all demons attack. They just really love to steal money from human beings. But technically, humans are wealthy. So you might think, how are they stealing it from us? Well, they torture you every day. All of you are stressed out. You're having heart diseases in your corporate jobs. That's how they're still stealing it. You're not enjoying what a real job would normally be. You can't just enjoy your job. Someone's always trying to act fake dominant around you like narcissistic humans. Always trying to micromanage, right? That's acting fake dominant over people as if you're God or something. So, right, I might start a restaurant. I might start fashion. But I just want you to know that food is connected to Prophet Muhammad. I know he was gifted at cooking. And another reason he might have been, God might have chosen that for him, everyone, is maybe the same reason God chose that for me. Because everyone knows this prophet was adopted like me. They just don't know who adopted him. They think Arabs adopted him. Maybe it's African like me. Maybe it's another race. And so for that reason, okay, let's pause again. Right? Maybe it's another race, everybody. And then for that reason, okay, you lose your heritage, right? You lose your ability to eat your own food and grow with it and know how to cook it. So then maybe God, right, in order to sort of heal you, look at my words, maybe gives you, you know how the Bible teaches you, God restores something that was stolen from you, like that you ask for restoration. God gives you back what was taken from you in this life, right? Whether an actual evil conduct, like a thief stole it, or just life stole it, right? In a sense, that's difficult life, you know, not life stealing it, but whatever. Suffering caused that to be taken like that. That could be God's way of giving the prophet back what was taken from him, right? So restoring it to him, that blessing of his heritage, his people, which is Arab, right? Asian Arab, okay. And so he might have then been blessed by God to be interested, right? To be someone who cooks food, right? Be like a chef. Because then, there you go. That's his way to go back to his homeland, you know, his heritage, his people. Remember that. Because maybe like me, he was adopted by Africans or something. Never got to eat his own food all throughout his life. Never got to see his own mom and dad, you know? Because he's so similar to me. Why am I an orphan and my prophet is an orphan? Why am I Arab and he's Arab, but I was adopted by Africans? And they tell you he's adopted by Arabs. Maybe that's not true because he's so similar to me. So why is God making me gifted at cooking? I just told you, just stop connecting it to being a woman, okay? Stop being sexist. It's just the art. I told you already. He could have made me gifted at something else, right? Maybe hair, maybe taking care of the hair. It's because I think that's his way as a God, right? Of making me a businesswoman who then right? Makes food. That's her people because I never got a chance to be with my people, which are Arabs. It's that simple. um, Need to pause again. They're harassing me again. Anytime I say something very big, right? It's like an evil balloon that comes back. I hope you were able to reach this 2 hour. Usually it's a podcast, right? It's not like a lecture. And I call it healing guides, right? Healing. Even my voice sounds more calm now. uh, I'm not in traffic yelling. So, right? I actually hope it's comfortable and interesting for you to listen to these stories, even though it seems like it's about me. Because, right? We're still connected. We're still a creation of God. I'm talking about you good people, okay? Goodness. We're not connected to evildoers, no matter what their species they're coming from. You normal good people, okay? We're connected. So, right, you listening to me like this is also maybe helping you discover areas of your traumas and ways that you have maybe discovered good things about yourself. If you ever feel disconnected from your family, or they've abused you, or you don't look like them, all right, God is putting something into your heart. Please think about it. A lot of people are adopted and they lie to you. And usually human beings who are narcissistic to children, right? Um, I know they're evil, right? They're going to be narcissistic to their own kids too. But I just want you to think about it. I've studied this. The one they sort of pick on, right, like the scapegoat, is actually adopted. You know what I mean? And the others, they seem to get along. So I really want you all to think about it. Why? They're just evil to their kids. They pick on one person, you know? They should all attack everybody. So really, and usually scapegoats, as they're called, are black sheep. That one person they pick on, they really feel disconnected. They really don't think this is their family. So I think humans haven't connected it. So they're usually the same race that adopt you. You know what I mean? I think humans just haven't connected it to this narcissist versus black sheep situation. Maybe these people are always adopted and they're always lying. And that's a huge sin narcissists have been doing all these years, but no one ever connected the dots. You know, because I've seen people writing their stories online of that. That's how their situation was. They thought they were just simply a target to narcissists, bad parents. But they realized, wait a minute, they actually targeted me because they adopted me. But we're the same race. They can make it seem like I'm from them. You know, we look the same color like that. Of course, prophets will get rid of that. They're gonna get rid of the problem of adoption. The whole city should know you are adopted. Your government should look at you every day, have monthly meetings with you, and tell you who you are. That's how we're gonna get rid of it. We're not going to tell humans to do the right thing because you can't control character, right? That bad person, okay, they're going to mistreat you as adoptive. No, we're going to make sure third parties, see how rational that is? Third parties that don't have anything against you, they have records of you, you know, and this parent doesn't get to have any power over that. You know how today, if someone adopted you, they can still control the government because exactly that human who adopted you could then go to the government and be like, can I have that person's files? No, you see what I'm saying? They should be like a customer, and the government should be like a employer. A customer cannot take away the products of that company. They can only buy it from them, right? So they can only be like, can I maybe have that document of this person? I lost it. Fine, they can share it with you, right? They can forge it or whatever, but you should be able to also, right? Document is product, okay? You should also be able to go back to the government, aka that company, that business, that employer, right? And be like, can I have it too? You know? And there you go. Yours is the original. It doesn't matter how they forged this one. And the government shouldn't be someone that you have to learn you could get that from. Because there you go. They'll never maybe talk to you. Common sense, everybody. We just need to use common sense to give people their rights. We need to create laws, right? Where third parties, one government, two hospitals, everyone, just almost all institutions, even your school, everyone is meeting with you as you grow up as a kid every month, every year. I mean, if they told you once you're good to go, they always reminding you you're adopted. They always then too having monthly meetings with you or weekly meetings where they're checking on you and saying, are you being abused? Are you okay? And two, they learn a way to protect exactly good parents from and good adoptive humans. I don't want to call them parents. It's gross to me. Um, right? From bad kids who lie, you know, like that. Just common sense. We have to always go back and forth and protect humans from all evil. But right, this would benefit then kids who are born to actual families. It's actually your family, you know? Exactly. You need to also check with them. Are you okay? Are you being accused? Are you being abused? I mean, sorry. Like that, everybody. Just common sense. Even couples, even people who are dating, just humans should check on each other. It should be like a requirement, you know? And there you go. If you're like, what if people take advantage of it and lie? You investigate. You don't just take it. You wait months to observe that situation. You know? You don't just say, okay, and come to that home and rate it. No. Act like you didn't know that. You act like don't tell anybody. You separate this person, you find some fake reason, right, to tell this human that you're gonna have this person go somewhere else, maybe, whatever, you know, or you'll just monitor, maybe you'll put camera on them like that. You see how rational we have so many cool ways. But then you just ask the community, you yourself, right, as an institution, since community can also lie. I'm not just saying we just need multiple sources. But and you might be like, why don't we just use the government? Because they could be the evil one. Get it? So you see how smart it is to use multiple sources, even though it makes you uncomfortable to ask a community. Exactly. What if the community then lies? See, everybody, it's better to have multiple sources. But what you're afraid of, right? Accusation entering the picture is easy to protect. I'm sorry, it's easy to prevent. If see my words, how see how protect prevent. That's how they ruin my words when I speak. Um, they are basically being monitored. Whoever said that human is abusing me, right? The one that's basically the abuser in that sense, you're investigating them. Exactly, by being like hidden detectives, covert investigation. You're not telling them someone said that about them. You see, very smart. You're just monitoring them and watching them and observing them for time. Yeah, obviously everybody's some point gonna see them hit somebody, right? Curse somebody, cuss someone out, tell the kid a lie, like that, or and vice versa. Maybe the kids are abusing the adults, and adults don't want to hit them, right? Obviously, because that's not okay. And now they don't know how to stop the kid, maybe, right? Like that. If we really use logic and just common sense, you can really come up with great laws. Even, um, you know what I mean? And then obviously, when God sends prophets, those laws are much better. Obviously, it's obviously God's laws. What he has taught you as a creator, your conscience, your mind, right? Your gut also. You can do the best you can to really make awesome laws, you know? What else do I need to say? So, yeah, God has inspired me that when I get out of this situation, maybe I'll start a business and that's how I'll make a living for some time. And there you go. I can still have that desire to be sort of the CEO that goes somewhere else and travels, not someone who's right there working. I hire people. And there you go. I create jobs. Why not? Part of that would have humanitarian, though. I always wanted to be humanitarian. So part of that would have humanitarian. Some of that money I make from the business would go to humanitarian causes. And there you go. I know the psychology of evil. I know how problems can enter that picture, right? You send money to that company, but they actually use it for criminal activity. I'm not going to forget that. And I'm always going to know where I'm sending money to. I would create my own organization that actually does that. You know? I mean, if someone close to God, you can trust me. But, you know, if I was to even try to prove to you that I'm good, then I would just make society know where my money is going. That's one way. You just have knowledge of where my money is going. If we donate to something as a company that I made up like that, I always wanted to create jobs. When I was seeing COVID and all that stuff, I was even more inspired. But God wants to use me to help mankind in a much bigger way than I intended. So it doesn't mean I won't help you due to his plan, right? It just means the help will actually be bigger, more stressful. So I don't know. I need some gap and some time for myself, obviously. I'm tired of all this nonsense, all this traveling. So, God willing, you have to always have a good opinion, right? You have to always have faith. You have to always tell yourself good as what are those words? Affirmations also in terms of just psychology, not just spiritual, right? And God willing, I'm gonna have some awesome business that I can start soon. It's probably gonna be a restaurant because I want to cook some Arabic food, but I also really want to connect the human race. So I also thought about, right, every sort of race, we pick something specific that we're all known for, even though they're very diverse. and just making a big, gigantic, cool restaurant. And if it becomes a brand, then every restaurant, right, like that is from that big brand, when we put it, let's say, everywhere in the world, okay, it's like that continent, but then also those specific countries now have access to food from other races because they usually don't, right? So it's like a way I want to connect mankind, basically. I mean, humans, I guess. Mankind is like animals and pests. But for animals and pests, the way I want to help them, I won't tell you everything. Okay, I won't tell you. Let's keep it to myself. But I also have been inspired to help them too. Okay, and the way God inspires you, here's the message for you. You all have a role in helping each other and helping us. You also need to think about what God is inspiring you to. Maybe He really wants you to start a business and leave that job, and now you have more peace. You hire people like me, right, who are always being bullied like that. And don't just hire anybody, please. Really look for people who are good people, who are God's people, who are struggling in this world, who need your help. And there you go. Use prayer. Ask God to send them to you. Be that destiny helper. Take care of yourselves.